Mum? Yeah? Okay, so do you remember, have you got the pictures? Can you see the pictures of what you looked like when you were pregnant? Was it just a nice little a bump on the tummy, or did everything get bigger? You know, your nose got bigger, everything. And what about eating? Did you eat for 2 or sometimes even 3? Did you just eat whatever you want? I'll have that and that and that. The reason I'm asking, because it used to be that expectant mums could justify the extra slice of cake or portion of chips with the old saying, well, I'm eating for 2. But not anymore, it seems. Mothers-to-be are being advised to watch their weight by a new report from Queen Mary University of London. The report says that doctors should step in to tell them to go on a calorie-controlled diet if they put on too much weight, as mums who are overweight can be risking complications such as premature birth or preeclampsia. And we asked East Londoners if they thought it was a good idea for expectant mums to go on a diet.
I'd say eating healthily. Dieting, no. I don't agree with any kind of form of diet.
I think they probably should for their own health and the health of a baby, but I don't think it should be as regimented as being told to do it.
17 months since I gave birth and I just started my diet, so no.
I don't think they should be dieting. They should just eat healthily because it will benefit both the mother and the baby. It's not all about dieting.
I think it depends on the woman. I don't think there should be general advice out there that gives you that as an answer. I think it's an individual decision.
So joining me now is Kylie Hodges, who had to take steps to control her own weight during her pregnancy and sadly suffered preeclampsia. Good evening to you, Kylie.
Good evening.
Thanks very much for talking to us tonight. What was I hope you don't mind me asking these very personal questions. What was your diet and weight like when you became pregnant?
Sure. So like a lot of women, I decided that I wanted to start a family, but I'd work on my weight first. And I stopped my form of contraception and switched to something else. It didn't work and fell pregnant straight away. So I wasn't proud of it, and I was quite overweight when I fell pregnant. And in my case, I found it really difficult to get advice. I kept getting mixed messages about not dieting, but I was really overweight and I was concerned that it would put a great deal of stress on my baby.
Excuse me for being, how much overweight are we talking about?
I was clinically obese. I had a BMI of 40, which is clinically obese. So in real terms, I think I was 16 stone. I work in kilos, so I won't confuse you any further, but about 16 stone when I fell pregnant.
Okay, so in terms of help, you say it was really difficult. Where did you get help from finally?
Finally, through research on the internet and the charity called Tommy's, which is a baby charity which helps women who are at risk of pregnancy complications. And that's where I finally found some information about how to manage my weight. Because it's okay to say don't diet, eat normally. But if you've had years of disordered eating and are obese like I was, what's normal? You know, and that's what I really struggle with. When everyone said just eat normally, I hadn't been eating normally for years, so how was I meant to do that in pregnancy? And I needed a little bit of help to do that.
Yeah. I mean, was it a difficult pregnancy in the end?
It was awful. Unfortunately, and no one can put it down to my weight. And this is the thing, is that preeclampsia happens to skinny women, fat women, and everyone in between. But in my case, my blood pressure started creeping up from 16 weeks. At 27 weeks, my blood pressure was critical. I had protein in my urine. I had preeclampsia, which can actually, in serious cases, be fatal to the mum and the baby. And the only treatment that we've got is delivering the baby. So my baby was delivered at 27 weeks gestation, and he weighed 1 pound 7 ounces at birth.
How's Joseph now?
He's 3, and he's just watching telly and running around the house.
Great.
So he's fine now.
So like my son, absolutely fine.
And one of the reasons I'm really passionate about this is that when he was in the neonatal unit, the doctors were all pretty amazed, and they kept saying, how did you manage your pregnancy? What did you do? And they actually got me to write down a typical week's eating because he was really well for a baby of his gestation and his size, and they were really shocked, and they put that down to my diet. So that's why I'm passionate. I'm happy to talk about it. You know, no one wants to go on radio saying, I was 16 stone when I fell pregnant. That's embarrassing. But if it helps someone else to go, you know what, let me face it like Kylie did and let me address it with my care providers, then job done.
Now, I always say when you change your eating habits, right, it's you need to change your relationship with food, and that needs to be something for life. Here's the cheeky question. How's your weight now?
It's much better. I'm slowly getting back to normal weight. I had a lot of problems after Joseph was born. As you can appreciate, 10 weeks with your baby in hospital, and he did have some times when he was really sick, puts a lot of stress on you, and the last thing that you're doing is focusing on eating. And hospitals are the most difficult places to get healthy food, which is silly, but it's really hard to eat healthily in hospital. And so I had some tough times, but I've lost about 4 stone, and I'm keeping on going, and I'm doing a run for Tommy's in 2 weeks' time, so...
I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for talking to us. I appreciate it. It isn't easy, and I really do appreciate it. Kylie Hodges there, who had to take steps to control her own weight during pregnancy. Her BMI of 40 there. Not proud to talk about it, but actually, you know, being given advice for pregnant women now, don't eat for 2. Maybe you need to go on a calorie-controlled diet. Eat properly. Look after yourself, because that will help the baby. Now, we've been talking about preeclampsia. What is it? Well, it's a condition that affects some pregnant women during the second half of pregnancy or immediately after delivering the baby. Although the exact cause of it is not known, it's thought to occur when there is a problem with the placenta. Yeah, more details, of course, can be found. But we are joined now by Michelle Mullally, who's a dietitian at Kingston Hospital and advises pregnant women. Good evening to you, Michelle. It is, certainly I said it to my own wife, and everybody else said it. Oh, don't worry, but she was particularly thin. Go on, eat. You don't know. Is it about what you eat or how much you eat? Because if you're hungry, you should eat, shouldn't you?
I think I think Kylie made a really good point that if you do have kind of an unhealthy relationship with food, or if, you know, you're not completely sure about what healthy eating is, that it can be really difficult to say, oh, just eat normally, because what is that? And I think what came out of the research today is highlighting that people who are overweight and obese are definitely at more of a health risk and risk of complications such as preeclampsia, and they definitely do benefit from getting dietary advice from specialists like dietitians. And here in Kingston Hospital we have a special clinic, and I myself deal with pregnant women who come in and they're overweight.
Yeah, hold on. You get people referred to you because they're pregnant and they're fat.
Well, not to be putting it as bluntly as
I know, I'm sorry.
I
did think of a way to put it. I should have put it in a more sympathetic way. You get women referred to you because they are pregnant and they are overweight.
And because this emerging evidence shows us that they are at more risk of complications, what we try and do then is target, but it's not eating for 2, and it's certainly not a very restrictive diet. When we hear the word diet in the media, we think of cutting out carbohydrates, we think of not eating late at night, we think of very restrictive diets. But what we do with these women is look at the actual diet that they have at the moment and find out ways we can improve it so that it's more overall healthy, balanced diet. So regular meal pattern, reducing portion sizes, not having very high fat, high calorie snacks, and getting their 5 fruit and veg in a day so that their own health is better, and then obviously the health of their baby improves as well. And then
do you get resistance though? I'm not fat. Listen, I'm not fat. I'm pregnant. I'm having a baby. I'm not fat. I'm pregnant.
I think the thing about pregnancy is that women are very motivated for the health of their baby, so I think it's an ideal time to get in and actually make some positive lifestyle and diet changes. And I think they're actually very receptive to the advice that we give, and they want to do the best for their baby and make sure that their pregnancy is as successful as it can be. So I think it's a really good time to get in changes that they can maintain after they've had the baby.
Fantastic.
And carry on then. As Kylie said, she's continued to lose weight, and she's actually, you know, managed to lose 4 stone and really improve her health overall. So that was the kind of catalyst for change in her life. So I think many women can respond to it then as well.
And the one thing that she said that sticks in my mind is that she found it difficult to get help and advice. Maybe somebody isn't being referred in the way they are at your hospital. Maybe they're thinking of getting pregnant. Where should they go? What kind of advice? Is there somebody they could look?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably because there's been conflicting messages. You know, before it was eat for 2, now it's saying don't. Before it was saying don't diet, now it seems to be, you know, that you should lose weight. But actually, what you should do is just follow healthy eating guidelines that are available. The Eat Well plate. Talk to your GP about being referred to a dietitian that visits your practice. There's plenty of guidelines for bump to baby is another example, and there's plenty of guidelines in the Department of Health about healthy eating and pregnancy. pregnancy. So they're the kind of places you can look at what constitutes a healthy diet and try to follow those guidelines. We're not asking pregnant women to lose weight during pregnancy. Weight gain is an important, essential part of pregnancy, but it's minimising the amount of weight gain and not excessively eating, so that it makes it, an increased risk of complications later on as well.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
No problem, thank you.
That's Michelle Mullally, their dietitian at Kingston Hospital, giving help and advice to women who are pregnant and are maybe overweight. So if you're thinking about doing it, it's probably better to just get yourself fit. Both of you together, get yourself fit before you do it. Do our best to help you. Hopefully you found that helpful. Still talking about the Olympic Flame, which is in Cornwall on its way to London, talking about parenting classes.